Oklahoma, started Higgins, rushed for 2,174 yards his senior year in 2001, and then started LSU from 2002 through 2005. At LSU, he caught 111 passes for 1,129 yards and 9 touchdowns. He returned 4 punts for touchdowns, helped LSU to a national championship in 2003 when he led the nation in punt returns, averaging 18.5 yards per return. He went on to play 3 years in the NFL with Dallas, Cincinnati, and the New Orleans Saints. LSU will host Arkansas Saturday morning at 11 a.m. at Tiger Stadium. Please give a warm quarterback club welcome to Skyler Green. Skyler?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me, Quarterback Club and Kenny. I'm only here just to talk about the LSU football team, a little bit about myself. I'm coaching at L.W. Higgins High School, alumni of L.W. Higgins High School. Went there in '99, 2002 was a graduating year. From there to LSU. I'm also a paraprofessional at Higgins right now, trying to get my teaching skills up. I'm also coaching the quarterbacks for the football team. We haven't had a good year this year. We went 1-9, finishing off our season against John Eric last weekend, Friday. Didn't do too well, and we're a real young football team, a lot of freshmen, sophomores, a few seniors, but we're looking forward to our upcoming season and working out in the spring is getting our football team better. As far as LSU goes, I thought these guys played a pretty good game this weekend, even though we didn't win the game. This is probably in the past 7 years the closest I've seen them play against Alabama and Nick Saban's football team. As far as with their confidence level, as far as competing, those guys were ready to play. They played well. They played tough. They went out with a mentality to let Alabama know that we were just not going to be pushed over this year, and we're just getting that much closer. We're getting that much closer to possibly turning the tides to this thing, and we're going to roll over those tides. We're looking forward to a good year next year with LSU, and looking forward to this Arkansas season. This Arkansas game coming up. We've never been a good morning team. We've never been a good morning team. So I'm kind of nervous about this and see how this is going to open up in the beginning of the game. But I thought those guys played with tremendous toughness, a lot of confidence going into this game, and they played with a lot of, I want to say they played with, they tried not to make a lot of mistakes. What I'm saying is those guys, when they got on the football field, they wanted to make the plays that were there to be made, but some of the times that the plays that they were in position to make, they weren't able to make the plays. But I saw where they kept playing, and they fought through adversity. And it was just I seen DJ Chark make so many plays in this game, and it was unfortunate that wasn't enough to win the game. Our running game was pretty good, fair this game. Even in the previous years, they've held us to a lot of negative yards in the game. I thought Darius Geis did a pretty good job running the ball. Him. Also, Williams running the ball, and our defense played outstanding. I thought our guys could have filled the gaps a little bit better tackling. But for the most part, those guys played a heck of a football game, and I can't wait to see how they'll look next year against Alabama. So, any questions?
Skyler, you were on the ground level with Saban when he got here. I find it fascinating that, a lot of LSU media, coverage, coaches, it's all, oh, they played hard. Is that just where Alabama is now, to where if you play hard, regardless of what the result is? What do you think? Is the difference between Alabama and everybody else just that much now?
No, what I think it is, it's being that I played for Coach Saban for 3 years, it's a mentality and a mindset that he coaches up and those guys always mentally tough and prepared for whatever's in front of them. But I can say that Coach Orgeron recruited me also. Never got a chance to play for Coach Orgeron. I was on the New Orleans Saints team when Coach Orgeron was on the staff. But Coach O he's definitely a coach that's going to turn this program around, and we're going to be able to compete at the same level as in Alabama. And when we touch this football field, people won't even think about it in the years to come. From now, we won't even think about Alabama's that team that everybody wants to lose, and Alabama's that team that nobody can beat. But that's just the mentality and the mindset that Coach Saban has embedded in those guys, to where all they think about is winning. And that was the same for when I was playing for Coach Saban. All we ever thought about was winning, and we always talked about what was our big picture. And our big picture at the end of the day was to win a national championship. And if you can get your guys to focus on that one big picture, and everybody's doing it as one team, and then there's nobody can step in between that and do anything to change your picture that you're painting for yourself.
Hey, Skyler, with that loss, I mean, now LSU's basically out of anything meaningful to play for. I mean, like, you can't get the West. So, but Coach Orgeron's also said he's going to stick with Danny Edley as a starter. I mean, wouldn't this be the perfect time to give Miles a chance of starting and really get some playing, real true experience for the years to come?
I think so. It'll be a good idea to get him some playing time these next few games that we have left. But you don't take away from a senior. Your senior guy who's been rallying this football team for this whole football season, and you want to keep guys playing behind your senior starting quarterback. But yeah, you do get Miles Brennan some snaps and get him acquainted with going into next football season and getting guys used to being able to catching balls from him. Those guys that you're looking forward to moving up next year, and those guys that are the big playmakers for you that don't get a chance to catch Miles Brennan's balls in practice. You know, they got to get on the same page and create a chemistry with each other. Even though they practice with each other, you know, those groups are different. You got ones versus ones, twos versus twos. So those guys have to create a chemistry. And once he get that playing time in these next few games, if Coach Orgeron gives him that opportunity, I think it'll help him tremendously going into next year. But I don't think you sit Etling down to just get Miles Brennan a chance to get playing time.
So being the starter is not really the key. It's just more just snaps. Is that what you're saying?
Just snaps, yes.
Keep Edlin as a starter and then bring him in.
Yes, definitely, most definitely.
You were a great kickoff and punt returner. Any advice to the present team that seems to have some difficulties there?
Well, I tell guys every time I go back to LSU, I always talk to the punt returners. And right now it's DJ Chalk. I hadn't got a chance to talk to him, but he's already one up. He's got one in the hole for a return for a touchdown. I have 4 in my career, and it's still the LSU record. And I was on Instagram the other day, and I kind of saw LSU Instagram page. On the LSU Instagram page, it had four guys. It was Trenton Holliday, Odell Beckham, Tyrann Matthews, and I forget and Patrick Peterson. All those guys were great punt returners, but I ended up sending a message to them, but none of them ever broke the record yet in career touchdowns. But you know, I kind of hold that over those guys' head every time I go back to school. Last year with Tre'Davious White, and when he was the punt returner, I would tell him, man, you got one more to get. You got one more to get. And every game he would tell me, he was like, I'm gonna get it, Green. I'm gonna get it, Green. I'm gonna get it. So every year I go back, I'm on those guys harping about that record, about the 4 touchdowns in my career.
Did you see that play that Kansas City made the other day at the end of the half against Dallas?
No, I didn't. What was it?
As a returner, I think you would have loved it.
Okay. Were you talking about the pass play where the defense was back? Yeah, I did see that play. I did see that play.
Your comments on that?
It kind of reminded me of a punt return. Even though it was an offensive play, they got those guys spread out all over the football field. And then you give a guy like Hill the football with his shiftiness and his ability to make people miss. You have 8 guys back there, 3 guys blocking, and he made all of them miss. So that says a lot about that guy.
You know whose record you broke at LSU?
No idea.
I think it was Tommy Casanova.
Tommy Casanova. That's a good one right there. Thank you, guys.